All right, so if the wind knocks me over for this, just know it is very on brand for this step. I'm outside today because my studio is too small for this jump, which honestly already tells you something important about it. Today, we're talking about grand jeté tournant, tour jeté, entrelacé, all the same jump and the same unnecessary drama, especially for adult dancers. If this step ever made you think, I used to be able to do this, or I just don't trust where I'm going to land, or why does this feel so chaotic now? You're not alone, and you're not broken, because this jump exposes a lot of things that adults feel more than teenagers and kids. There's the elements of risk, timing, commitment to the movement, and of course the consequences if it all goes wrong. When you're a child, you just throw yourself and hope that it all works out, but adults want to plan. And honestly, that's an advantage once you understand this step. Let's clear things up. We really only have two names for this step, grand jeté en tournant and entrelacé. Tour jeté is kind of like a shorthand version of grand jeté en tournant. It's a shortening of the words to say them faster, which really connects well when we have to go into the air. Grand jeté en tournant means a big throw turning. So you're throwing your legs into the air, you're flying, you're turning around, everything's going crazy, and then you're landing. And entrelacé is like the poetic cousin. It means interlaced, and it's the legs changing and switching in the air. It's quite beautiful. The step is always the same. It's just coming from different schools and different vocab backgrounds. None of them meant helicopter. None of them meant jump and pray for the best. And none of them meant throw yourself sideways and hope. Here's the one thing no one says out loud. This jump needs space. I mean, real space. It was designed for diagonals, open stages, traveling in the preparation and going up into the air for the jump, not just 2 counts of panic between a low ceiling and closed walls and a mirror. So the first thing you need to overcome as an adult is your nervous system saying, hey, where are we going with this? I'm a bit scared. And if your body doesn't trust the landing, it will never commit in the air. Many dancers are taught that this is a power problem. Jump higher, whip harder, turn faster. But the truth is, it all comes down to the preparation. And if your preparation is bad, the tour jeté, the grand jeté en tournant, the entrelacé has failed before you've even started. Usually, this jump is going to come from one of the downstage corners, over here or over here. We'll start in a 5th position, croisé, and then you're going to turn your body into coup de pied, facing the corner that you're going to piqué arabesque. From there, you extend the leg, piqué arabesque, or extend the leg and step to tendu arabesque. When starting to learn this jump, do not start with step. Start by learning the chassé and the rhythm of that chassé. What do I mean by chassé? From here, you're going to turn your body so that your tendu is going to your back corner. You're going to plie in 2nd position, jump, bring your downstage leg behind your upstage leg, through 5th, and land in 2nd position, like this. Now, as you watch this, you can see I'm keeping my body facing this way, while my head is still facing towards that downstage corner. The tendency with step instead of the chassé is that we turn too soon and go in that direction, and we lose the rotational force for the jump. So we want the rhythm to go like this. 1, 2, and. So we get a down, up in the air, down, and then you're going to throw your grand battement leg as fast as possible, starting to the front, and by the time you're in the air, the leg should be to the side. So like this. The reason we're not trying to get to the front in the air with that jump is that if we stay there for too long, the leg is not going to come back through fast enough for the second half of the entrelacé. It won't be interlaced properly. As you can see, this jump is decided on the ground. It's not even in the air yet. We're not at the peak. We're still on that ground, working on finding the proper rotation of the pelvis so that we don't twist too soon, and that by the time we get to the point where we're going to throw our leg into the air, our hips are facing in the diagonal we're traveling along so that we can switch quickly through the à la seconde and then bring our leg back to the front. Honestly, it's this next part that makes everybody a bit scared because of the rapid change that we have to do in the air. People will throw their legs and try to rotate, legs going around themselves, almost like a helicopter. So in the second half of the jump, you've done your big throw, your leg is out to the side. The second half of the jump, this leg that's out to the side has to come back through rapidly, while the leg that is underneath you has to kick into arabesque. So we're almost doing like a switch in the air at the end of the jump. Now, a jump wouldn't be complete if we didn't understand the arms. So from this arabesque position, our arms are going to be an allongé. As we do the chassé, they're going to lift. We're going to extend the leg out to the front. Arms come down as we step through fourth position. They come up in the air. By the time we're in à la seconde, our arms should be up in fifth position. We kick and switch our legs. And then as we land, not before, we land, the leg goes to arabesque, and then our arms come down to arabesque. Dropping the arms too soon in the landing will make you fall and drop your body, and it's not going to look pretty. Have you guys guessed what the most important exercise is to develop the strength and the patterning for entrelacé? It's grand battement en cloche. We can do this to the front. We can do this to the side. And we can do this to the back. Building that patterning early in your training is going to help a lot when you get into this jump and you can't quite figure out how to organize your legs. Now let's talk about the angles of where we're going. From this arabesque, you have to make sure that as you turn, you're really going along the diagonal of the room. So you're traveling. When you kick your leg up to the front, your leg is going along that diagonal. You're in the air here in this position, and then you're transferring and landing, and your arabesque is going along that same diagonal. When we start to implement the step, if you start to go this way, you're going to be making more of a circle, and it's going to lead more to that helicopter movement of your legs. Now, what do we mean by step? Step would be the transition, the development of your chassé. So instead of going plie in second, bring the legs together and land, you're going to be going step, throw. If you noticed, I didn't go step this way, turning immediately into the jump. I kept the same rhythm as the chassé, which went up, down, up, and I went up, down, up. That rhythm builds the rise and fall in your preparation, so you have a beautiful pinnacle at the top of your entrelacé. So you're ready to give it a try. The key here is to think quick legs. Once you've thrown your leg up into the air, you want to bring it quickly back in the opposite direction. So once this leg goes up, back to the front again. Now, if you're already thinking about the landing before you've gotten into the jump, that's when you're going to fall. We touched on this a little bit with the arms, but you want to try and keep your body as upright as possible as you switch your legs so that when you land, you're calm, collected, and you can just relax and squeeze into that standing leg as you plie. Considering your landing isn't about fear, it's about planning and making sure that you're safe so that when you come down from the height of that jump, everything is controlled and intelligent. So instead of telling yourself to just be braver, give yourself a clear direction, clear positions, and clear finish. Safety comes from clarity, not just courage. Keys to success. Start by mastering the rotation of your body so you're not turning too quickly. From there, use the legs, gather them together, take your force down, and throw it up into the air. Renvoitement to the front, but get quickly to the side so we don't get stuck here in our first part of the jump. And then rapidly, from this position, switch your legs in the air so you have a beautiful entrelacé. If you're an adult dancer and this step has felt inconsistent or stressful, I want you guys to hear this clearly. You didn't lose your entrelacé. Your body just matured. And once you stop fighting that and start organizing your jump correctly, it'll become fun, big, and free again. Let me know in the comments what you called this jump where you trained. Was it tour jeté, grand jeté entrelacé, or entrelacé? And remember to practice for many years.